just in case you are unable to be in the class when I'm talking about homework, because I know at least one person is going to have to bounce, just to walk through it real quickly, assignment 8, real similar to what we were doing in class, part A, using one of the brass object photos. Rotate it 90 degrees, make it 8-bit, crop out the majority of the blank space around it, draw a path along the edge of it, right? It doesn't have to be 100, 360 degrees around it, but running along one side and fill it with text. When you're drawing that path, you know what you're going to use it for, so try not to have any like pointy valleys, try to have it be relatively smooth, and once you have got that text in there, you can go ahead and add some spaces to spread it out. You can use like select parts of the text and change the tracking. Remember, that's one in the characters palette, right? The sort of spacing that's going on between the letters, and do all of that good stuff. Once you've got that, downsample the image to 2500 pixels across, rasterize the text, and save it as an 8-bit layered PSD, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, pardon me. So that is there. Part B, using some imagery from the internet and text warp and effects, make a file which clips the photo that you found on the internet to some text, like we demonstrated in class. The text and photo should work together to convey meaning. For the text, you can make up your own, or you can use one of these words: loud, afraid, nighttime, make America great again. Let's not use that one. I'm so glad to not have to hear that ever again. Chaos or fluffy. So do that. Use image size to downsample to 2000 pixels across. Do not rasterize the text. No, do not do it. And save it as an 8-bit layered PSD file. You know what? Even though I just said we're doing 2500 and 2000 pixels on these, let's do them both to 3000 pixels across, because I know that they've updated the requirements for file format that they collect at the end of the year, and that will make my life easier. So I'll update the PDF, but here I am telling you in the video audience 3000 pixels for both part A and part B in what we resize them to. And then the very last one, part C, how does the style of the text inform the meaning of a final product? How does text override the meaning? Is it possible to see text as shapes and not sort of read it as words? How does it function in the world around you? In this next week, pay attention to the type around you, right? Like, you see it constantly, everything from advertisements to, you know, what's on your phone, right? Like, why does the Instagram font look the way it does? Why does the Facebook font look the way it does? Like, what do those mean in those logos? What are they trying to tell you about themselves? Take some time, pay attention to it, take photographs with your phone with 3 especially good or bad examples, right? They could be, I mean, good or bad, right? Like something that you're like, oh, this is really awesome, or like, oh my God, this is the most hideous typography I've ever seen in my entire life. And submit those along with parts A and B. So part A, right, type on a path, it does get rasterized. Part B, warp and effects with clipping that to an image that does not get rasterized, both of them 3000 pixels on the long side when you resample them. And then part C, over the next week, pay attention to type, go looking for type, find something, 3 examples of type you think is good, bad, whatever, take a phone picture of it and submit those as well. So there you go. There's your homework. Also remember, Project 2 is also due next week. But yeah, any questions, holler at me. Otherwise, have a good week.